every company complains about how hard it is to find good people, but every candidate I recruited complained about how hard it was to find a good company. The average application time is close to like 30 minutes nowadays, and this self-doubt that creeps in that, should I really spend 30 minutes doing this knowing I'm most likely not going to hear back? The current system rewards time, not talent. 75% of resumes are never seen by a person. And so Match.com and eHarmony found ways to give users more context of who they're getting in bed with, pun intended. But unfortunately for our professional relationships, what people spend 80% of their adult life doing, most people are still taking flyers on words on a piece of paper, just wildly inefficient.
Howdy, this is Katie Van Horn
and Robin Schooling
with the Inclusive AF Podcast, part 3 of the HR technology recordings extraordinaire from Las Vegas, Nevada, HR Tech 2025. We're in the HR Executive Studio recording away, and we have a special guest with us whose name we aren't going to say. We're just going to keep him nameless for this entire episode just for funsies because he was mean to us before we started recording. So it's all over, folks.
It's like having a private profile on LinkedIn. It's just anonymous.
So, Michael, thank you for joining us. Would love for you to introduce yourself and share a little bit about the tech that you brought to share today.
Yeah, so Michael Wenning here. Been in recruiting for over a decade now. Started out on the agency side. Kind of backstory, I got burned really bad by a recruiter when I was younger. The job was so miserable, it made me go back to school, which honestly I didn't think was possible. And so, when I came out, I loved the idea of getting to help people for a living. I thought that was a great way to make a living. But I've experienced firsthand how miserable recruiters can make people if they don't actually care about what you want to do. And when you're at a big agency, obviously my morals were the lowest of their priorities. You recruit who we tell you to recruit. So I said, okay, I'm going to go out and start my own company. Got certified in HR management so that I could really do a good job at auditing these employers, because everyone says they're a great place to work. But I want to know, what's the onboarding like? What's the first 30, 60, 90? How well do you really treat your employees? And was doing that, and I noticed the same problem over and over again, which is, every company complains about how hard it is to find good people, but every candidate I recruited complained about how hard it was to find a good company. And I had this aha moment. I was recruiting a director of finance. Guy was, speaking of buzzwords that needs to be put to death, he's a rock star, but was clearly unhappy with what he was doing. And I asked him, like I do all my candidates, okay, well, what tools are you using? What opportunities are you seeing out there? And he said, dude, finding a job is a full-time job. I'm way too busy keeping my head above water here. I do not have time to go dig through job boards, so I just wait on recruiters like you to contact me. And that's when, I kind of stepped back, and, there's been a lot of innovation in the space that is centered around helping companies find people. But I thought, why has no one built an app that makes it easy for you to find the right company for you? Not just a job you can do, but a company where you thrive at and you find that real meaning and purpose in your work. And so what we wanted to do was build that tool that's like a mobile app that helps you, kind of operates like an Instagram. The more you interact with it, the more relevant it gets. So it's kind of your own personalized feed. But then the other big thing as well that we did with it is, right now for passive talent, for discerning talent, especially after COVID, people no longer wanted to just work for any company. It's, why should I work for this company and not the hundreds of other companies hiring for it? And unfortunately, that information is disparate. It's in all these different sources, and that's where passive talent doesn't have the time to go research and validate. So we aggregate first-party and third-party data into a company profile with media so that you really quickly at a glance, you can see, all right, is this a place I really want to work? And then if it is, you just tap to apply. And we wanted to use AI to kind of help candidates get through the ATS systems, because 75% of resumes are never seen by a person. And the big thing that I think really I mean, look, I'm sure we could talk through a lot of things that could be better, but what my company called the recruiter, my old company called the resource manager, and the trendy startup is calling a talent ninja, right? So what we want to use AI to do is not to fabricate, it's more to make your resume speak the company's language so that you, with the tap of a button, without needing to dust off Microsoft Word and upload your resume, it's like, no, we'll just tap and we'll send it in, right? So our philosophy and what Josh, my co-founder, and I really wanted to do was build the best app possible for candidates to really help people, because it's very, very hard part of my job to see people, who are just struggling to find work, but also those people who have a job that they're not happy in, but they don't have the time to go find something better.
or those job seekers as well, that they've then become so cynical about the process, but also what they're going to find. It's
a vicious
it's a
cycle.
fairy tale that they're reading of what the company has put out there.
And it's so hard because, and I see this firsthand a lot, where the average application time is close to 30 minutes nowadays, and this self-doubt that creeps in that, should I really spend 30 minutes doing this, knowing I'm most likely not going to hear back?
Yeah.
It's just, it's very, very tough to see
Or I
firsthand.
hear back at 2 minutes after hitting submit, which is even more super awesome.
Yeah. So I feel like I just threw up on you guys for a few minutes. But
No, all good, all good. So how does the tech that you built address bias in hiring? How does it address kind of the bias in sourcing, all of those pieces?
I think the biggest thing is that there's a lot of unintentional bias that I believe could be cleared up by kind of fixing the problem with keyword matching in resumes, right? A lot of great candidates. I knew a CTO who had to go to his hiring team and turn off ATS filtering because he applied for the job that was underneath him and it didn't even get through, right?
Ugh.
Hit one of those sound effects.
Yeah.
Oh,
There we go.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Look at that
I remembered
production
which one was
value
the
right there.
trombone,
Nice,
yes.
nice. Yeah, so I think that's the hard part right now, is that 75% of resumes aren't getting in front of people, and I think I educate companies a lot on culture, right? And trying to remove the biases that might exist, because what a culture is not a group of people who look alike and think alike and sound alike. That's a cult, right? A culture is a bunch of people from different backgrounds that are united by the mission, the problem that we are trying to solve. And the important thing for me is making it easy for candidates to get in front of those companies, right? And I think the way we're indirectly challenging biases is by giving these HR executives more qualified candidates to look at. That, like, the average recruiter spends 7 seconds looking at a resume, and that resume tells you just as much about that person as your job description says about your company. So that's sort of the way we're approaching it right now.
Awesome. So if I am a candidate, how do I find you to be able to start using this tool?
Well, you can always call me. I'm in Croatia.
Okay.
No. You mean how do you find our app? Is
Yes,
that what you're asking?
yes.
So we are actually getting ready to launch here at the end of this month.
Awesome.
And so far with the early testers we've had, everything is good. And then we will start partnering with influencers to really get this voice out there, because I think you guys know just as well as I do, there's a lot of noise in the space, right? Everyone says we have this proprietary way. And so, how William and I synced up was like, hey man, first of all, I used to live in Dallas before I met my beautiful Croatian wife, who I love very much, who's not listening, but I'm still going to say hi, Mima.
Hi, Mima.
And yeah, so like the big positive for me was when these influencers saw what we're doing. They're like, finally, like the approach you're taking, because like job boards have been around since Eisenhower was president, right? And not to date myself, but you remember back in the day, like, people used to find dates based on classified ads. And I would go on there and say, look, everyone says I look like Antonio Banderas, and, I'm 7 feet tall, whatever. And over the course of years, like 1 million people showed up at that cafe, and we're like, okay, that doesn't look at all like what you said you were. And so Match.com and eHarmony found ways to give users more context of who they're getting in bed with, pun intended. But unfortunately for our professional relationships, what people spend 80% of their adult life doing most people are still taking flyers on words on a piece of paper, which is wildly, wildly inefficient. And so what we wanted to do is give these people more context of whose this company is, the employee experience, and also not just matching them based on keywords, but tell me about the type of company you want. What values, what perks do you want? Do you want a place that has on-site daycare or a pet-friendly office? Or maybe you're looking for a company that helps pay off your student loans, right? So really trying to get more, better at matching. So again, long-winded answer. We will be in the iOS App Store here at the end of this month, but we'll be using influencers to bring it to market.
Michael, I'm going to ask this question a different way. What is the name of the app?
Oh, I'm sorry.
You haven't mentioned that yet.
My bad. The app is called Passive.
Awesome. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for teeing that one up for me there. Clearly missed the fastball you threw right across the plate.
Yeah, I think I was teasing you too much ahead of time, so I can understand. So you've talked about kind of the inspiration of why you built this app, but has there been a moment that you've kind of stepped back and said, yes, this is why we do this, or yes, this is, why this is going to work?
Yeah, it's a really good question. Well, to start with, my first idea, I photoshopped a Tinder profile and I made it a company profile and kind of went down that path. And, throughout the time, I worked with a lot of passive candidates. So I just kind of said, look, here's what we're building, and getting their feedback. And the feedback's been great. Sorry for the language here, but one of the guys who's a director of business development for a software company here in the U.S., he said, this is the most productive thing I could do while I take a dump. Normally I'm browsing Instagram, I'm browsing Reddit, but here I'm able to just browse through and see, because for a lot of professionals, you wonder if the grass may be greener on the other side,
Yeah. Right.
but it's so hard for them to even see the grass because they have to go through all these steps. So the big validation along the way has just been, I think, another one. Every HR influencer I've reached out to has said, I like this app. This is what we need, is more candidate focused, right?
Yes.
We have somehow gotten into this ecosystem where the inspiration and the innovation is around helping companies find people. But a company is just an amalgamation of people. Why don't we make it easier for people to find the company? Let's just try and approach it from a different way. So hearing the validation and candidates saying yo, this looks awesome is really, I think, the big one for us.
Do you anticipate a particular industry or industries that this will work better for?
Yeah, it's a good question. The big thing for us, because we're a small company, is we can't boil the ocean.
Yeah.
But the thing we've had to be very pragmatic about is that job hunting sucks for everyone. This isn't specific to an industry, right? And so what we try to do, and the way we've engineered this, is to start really big. Yes, we go after tech and finance companies, those companies that are more likely to spend on R&D, on talent acquisition. But the great thing about that is that they also hire for HR. They also hire for accounting and finance, right? And so as we bring this to market, we have about 30 users right now that are going to be giving us constant feedback. And our goal really ultimately is to have this become the career tool you use to level up, right? And so what I mean by that is I hear it a lot. Hey, I want to get into this industry, but I need the experience to get the job, and I need the job to get the experience, right? And there's ways we can improve this process by using AI and machine learning on our end to say, okay, you want to be a network engineer. Well, right now, you're about a 2 out of 5. But if you get your CCNP from Cisco Systems, you're a 4 out of 5. And now, oh, by the way, Cisco Systems, here's a nice warm lead for you of someone that is really trying to have this, right? And so using kind of the power of data to improve the experience for the job seeker. It's not only about helping you get your next job, it's really what we want to do is help you get where you want to go in your career. And there's so many people out there that struggle with that, what's my next move?
Yeah.
Right, so we got a long product backlog, but we've got that's why Josh has been amazing, because I'm very we're going to change the world. This is
You're
how
the
we're going to do it.
dreamer.
We got this, right? And he's like, all right, dude, but we got to build an MVP first. I'm like, oh, right. What's the most bare minimum we got to do to get out?
Yes, absolutely. So who are you selling to? What are the companies? I know you said, tech, finance, et cetera, but who is the actual target market that you're focusing on?
Our target market is actually B2C. So the app is free to use, but if you want that unlimited AI resume tailoring, it's $20 a month. And then what we've started doing as well is really trying to partner with ATSs. So we got a nice recruiter with a nice partnership with Smart Recruiters, which will also be success factors. Had some good meetings here as well. And yeah, we'll be in your marketplace. We don't want to disrupt HR, right? We don't want you to learn a new system. We just want to be a sourcing CRM that you turn on, candidates come into your app, we're not disrupting your workflow. But our goal really is to become the go-to app for job seekers, right? And so that is our primary focus. And then the B2B stuff, this might not be well received here, but in my career,
It's a safe space.
yeah, okay, cool.
No one can hear us. You're fine.
So early on when I was at the big agency, one of our clients wanted to be our client was State Street Global Bank.
Okay.
And my account manager had a really good friend who worked there, and for 3 years he tried to get us on their vendor list. And for 3 years they said, we only have 6 vendors. If one of them messes up, we'll let you know. And then one day they needed to hire a COBOL 2 developer, old IBM mainframe,
Yeah.
right? Like no one was still using it except one guy we knew in Rhode Island. And so guess what happened? The next day, State Street added a 7th vendor to their list, right? And so what my whole philosophy has been in this is if you build the app that talent goes to use, well then companies will know where to go to find that talent.
Yeah.
Awesome. So if your platform could talk directly to HR leaders, basically the audience here, the audience that's listening at home, the audience that's out there, millions of fans listening in right now, what would you want to say to HR leaders?
It's hard. It's really hard to find great talent, and I would implore them to rethink the systems that they've put into place, because the current system rewards time, not talent. Like throughout the years, and I've seen it across my career, is that these barriers to entry are put up because we think it will lead to better talent. But the problem is better talent doesn't have time to jump through those barriers. So I would implore them to, yes, I understand it's hard. It's very, very hard. But we've got to embrace change, and I think everyone here can agree that the current system is not doing a great job. We're making the most of it. But yeah, I would say, look, it's tough, but it's always darkest before the dawn.
Awesome.
Well, and I think one of the challenges right this moment, as we're sitting here in September 2025, is, we're hitting this time where we seem to have more candidates, right, than jobs. And so whenever we hit that time, which we constantly do, right? It's cyclical. But we're in that moment right now, so we have far too many employers, because I've been part of these conversations that say, well, there's so many people out there, so this is maybe the time now we can bring in extra steps to weed people out, so they're bringing back in the crap that they got rid of when they realized candidates didn't want to put up with jumping through hoops. Now they're bringing it back in.
Yeah, which makes no sense because
and just create,
like Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Netflix, their entire application process takes less than 2 minutes. Put in your name, your email address, attach your resume. Why? Because I'm not trying to put recruiters out of a job.
Yeah.
That's our job, is to screen these candidates,
Right.
right? And so I think if you look at the companies that are successful in finding great talent, you should emulate what they do.
Yes. Yeah.
So what is your one HR buzzword you wish we'd retire
it's rockstar.
forever?
It's
Rockstar.
rockstar.
Oh,
And
you didn't even have to think.
I'm just as guilty of it too.
Okay.
It's got to
Like,
die.
is it HR rockstar or just rockstar generally?
Is there any other kind of rock star than an HR rock star?
Yes, me. I am an actual rock star.
Oh, yes, you
I
are.
go on stage.
Okay.
I perform with my guitar.
Yeah, no,
guess.
I guess maybe because I'm in the recruiting space, I hear that word every day.
Yeah.
And it's
Yep.
like, man, there's got to be something better to call these
Something
folks
else.
than a rock star.
Right. Okay, I like it. What is the unexpected thing that you have learned as you've been building this product?
Wow, that's a really good question. Mostly lack of care for people is that, not only companies, but investors as well. Like they're like, well, the system works. Why should we care about how much time people spend? And, it's kind of doing to others. And just, even right now, you see all these AI interview tools, which is great. You're saving your company's time. What about that candidate who has to spend 4 hours talking? It's like, I feel like we need to get back to the human in human resources. And it's been very shocking to me how many, companies and investors are like, well, this is our process, so whatever, dude. Not a very positive answer, but that's what surprised me the most.
That's okay. That's okay. So we want to thank you for joining us. So this was a last-minute addition, folks, for those of you that are listening, and I'm very happy. Yeah, I'm very happy that we added you to the roster. It's good. It's
Thank
good.
you. Started out rough with the missing
It's okay.
Jackie. Shout out to Jackie Clayton. That woman is like a ray of sunshine.
Yes,
she is. And we love her, and we miss her very much this week.
Speedy recovery to Jackie.
Yes.
Yeah, very much.
So thank you so much for joining us, Michael, and look for Passive
in the iOS App Store.
And the iOS App Store. And when is it going live?
It was supposed to be this week, but Apple was giving us some hard problems with our OAuth.
Come on, Josh. Get it together over there. Josh, I'm just kidding.
Hopefully next week, but if not, by the end of the month, it'll be live in sort of the major tech hubs. So Dallas, Austin, LA, New York, Chicago.
Phoenix?
I said major tech hubs.
Ooh.
No.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, I wish I could find the
So I only have Intel, IBM, GoDaddy, Insight. Yeah, it's not very techy. I understand. I'll let that go. I thought we were friends there.
We can't boil the ocean, right? So
I understand.
Phoenix is on our list.
Phoenix got to be on your list too.
It
yes,
is 100%.
Absolutely.
At least you're on the list.
Right. I don't know if Baton
Rouge
Rouge will be added anytime soon, but it's okay. We still love Baton Rouge.
Yeah. I have one question for you guys.
Let's hear it.
If you were a bird, what kind of bird would you be?
Well, I would be a robin because I would have to be.
Right.
Oh, yeah. That's a layup.
Quail, because I think they're cute. And they're all over Arizona, so I like quail.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for that insight.
Anytime. What about you?
This is a tough one to answer. I love blue jays, but
Okay.
apparently they're like assholes, right? Like they just go into other birds' nests and like kill their babies. And I found that out. It was kind of like, oh man, life comes at you fast, because I always thought they were really cool looking. So I'll just stick with blue jays, but I'd be a good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
A positive.
We'll break
blue
the
jay.
mold of
Okay.
blue jays.
Okay. I like
There
it.
we
I
go.
like it. Very
Right
good.
on.
Very good.
I
All
really
right.
appreciate you guys having me on.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming. This is Katie Van Horn
And Robin Schooling.
with the Inclusive AF Podcast. Bye.